You are listening to Radio Maria Canada. We now present the Health Hub, hosted by Kathy Biasi.
Welcome to the Health Hub on Radio Maria Canada, exploring cutting-edge health and wellness information and therapies, helping you to take your health to the next level. I am your host, Kathy Biasi, and I'm a holistic nutritionist and a professional cancer coach. Our skin is our largest organ. It is our first line of defense, acting as a barrier between our bodies and the environment we find ourselves in. Healthy skin regulates body temperature and helps filter out toxins. So for our better health, we need to understand what our skin needs to be healthy. But because the topic of skincare is strongly focused within the beauty category and predominantly directed at women, there is a void in information about proper skincare for men. Our guest today is Jake Rosenberg, and he is taking aim at filling this void. Jake is an accomplished entrepreneur who has a passion for creating high-quality skincare products. After experiencing a skiing accident that left him with a scar on his face, Jake became determined to find the best ingredients for eliminating redness, blemishes, and scarring. In 2019, he founded Krete, a skincare company that offers a superior facial serum designed to improve the skin in under 30 seconds. Since then, Krete has sold thousands of bottles of its flagship product, and Jake's dedication to creating effective and innovative skincare solutions has made him a rising star in the industry. On the show, we talk about common skincare issues for men, is skincare issues that they face, key ingredients for healthy skincare lines, how Krete's skincare line is directed specifically for men, and how Krete is moving forward with expanding their skincare line for men. Stay tuned with us. We will be back in just a few minutes to speak with Jake Rosenberg.
You are listening to Radio Maria Canada. We now continue with the program, The Health Hub, hosted by Kathy Biasi.
Welcome back to the Health Hub, everybody. Today's show has been recorded, so no opportunity for calling in. Please do follow us on our social sites. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and we are at the Health Hub RMC on those locations. Jake, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Interesting topic, talking about men's skincare. And this is coming from a woman who's married to a man who wakes up, splashes water on his face, and walks out the front door. And he's done so since I've known him for many, many years. So this is going to be something interesting for me to listen about. How did you get into this space?
So I was always kind of a regular, like, I'll go to CVS when I need it. Okay, I have dry skin, I have a sunburn, I got to get something, or, I didn't really know anything, to be honest. Most guys don't. Guys are not really in the habit of wearing a lot of cosmetics on their face, makeup and other things. So they don't necessarily need to clean it off, use a toner, use a serum, and do all the other things to kind of recover from that and then go further from that. So in 2017, I had a ski accident and it left me with a scar on my nose. And from that, I was forced to start paying attention to the ingredients in various formulas. I needed to learn about hyaluronic acid serum, and I needed to learn about concealer to actually hide the scar. And so I was kind of forced and had no choice to go to Ulta and Sephora and these stores. And I just realized that these are products that are very easy to use, take less than 30 seconds to use. There's nothing inherently feminine about them. They're just sold at stores that that are only geared towards women. You know, you walk into a Sephora, there's 9,000 choices. I don't even know where to start. That's why guys don't even want to walk in, forgetting the fact that, you know, concealer has names like, you know, NARS concealer has creme brulee or custard. Those are my tones. It just wasn't going to be something that, you know, I was ever going to look into, except that I was forced to do it. So I came up with the idea to, you know, make formulas that didn't have any of the bad ingredients, charge a little bit more for it so that we could actually, you know, import apple stem cell extract from Switzerland and not use filler ingredients and use preservatives that don't actually harm you and that aren't Prop 65 in California, you know, those kinds of things. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, our brand promises that all our products take less than 30 seconds to use. So guys will actually say, okay, you know what? I'll use that. If that's how little time it takes, I'll put this serum thing on my face and get rid of my dry skin. It's kind of the promise of not getting stuck in the bathroom.
Now, the serum thing sounds just like I would imagine a lot of men would approach it. Is your background in chemistry? How did you land in trying to create these formulas?
So I did formulate our first two formulas, and I work very closely with our formulators. I have a background in kind of, I don't know, general engineering-ish. I mean, I studied a lot of math and economics and other sciences in school. That was, 10 plus years ago in college. But yeah, I've just always been very interested in chemistry. But the way I kind of went about this was I had a different business that was a software business. And we built kind of e-commerce funnels and e-commerce tools. And then I had a separate business that was a shoe company that I sold to my business partner years ago. And so that taught me a lot about manufacturing and the supply chain. And so when I had the idea for Krete, I realized I could build an effective marketing funnel, but also build the actual supply chain reasonably vertically integrated to kind of keep it more effective, the quality better, the costs down, et cetera. So yeah, learning chemistry, I actually, for the most part, taught myself off of YouTube and Google. And then once I got to a certain point, I started entering into formulator and chemist groups on Facebook and Reddit and Medium and all these places. And you can teach yourself anything on the internet if you really want to. That's kind of my message. I learned how to professionally formulate products in maybe 2 months. It was the only thing I was on, but yeah, I woke up. Okay, what am I learning today? What is hyaluronic acid? What does it do? Okay, there's different molecular weights. Is it anionic? Is it cationic? Is it polar? Is it nonpolar? Okay, it's water soluble. What does that mean? You just answer. You find more questions. You read more, and after a while, you know enough to make intelligent decisions about how to make a product.
That's fascinating. Now, your products are geared for men, but do they have to be used by men alone, or are they suitable for women as well?
No, they work. There's a lot of sites out there that are popping up, companies that have a brand that's for men, and they try to say stuff like men's acidity, skin acidity is different, and men have thicker skin. Yeah, okay, those are true, but hyaluronic acid works for everybody. Concealer covers men's skin and women's skin. The differences are negligible for the products that we're specifically covering. They probably at a higher level, like a medical level or OTC, which is over the counter, it might start mattering, but at the actual cosmetic level, it's basically irrelevant. So we're doing is we believe that men like myself have been underserved. So we're gearing our marketing and our messaging and our product packaging and just general experience towards men. But it turns out about 20 to 30% of women actually like that as well. They don't want the Sephora go and shop for 3 hours and see what the new trend on TikTok or Instagram is and go buy the snail mucin this week and the other thing next week. A lot of women and most men tend to be very brand loyal once they find an individual product that works. That is a male behavior that we know. Guys will use like Axe body spray in high school up until 26, 27, maybe 30 years or something like that. And then they'll switch to a deodorant, and then that'll be their deodorant for the next 40 years. And so that is one of the things that we're positioning ourselves as, is to try to be, you probably bought some sort of like Vaseline or some kind of mediocre to bad formula at CVS you've been using for a while. When you kind of elevate into wanting to take care of your skin and looking better and getting rid of certain aging issues with your skin, you kind of elevate into Krete.
Do you think that the catch point for the men is the ingredients that you're using, the claims that that your products you're making for your products, or is it the 30-second routine?
Well, it's a combination. There's kind of like a value formula that we use. Alex Hormozy talks a lot about it in his book, $100 Million Offers. And it's I'm probably paraphrasing it because we kind of use our own version of it, but it is the value that you're delivering is the numerator. So that's in the top. And so that is looking good, making your neighbor jealous, looking younger, feeling more confident, having a girl more attracted to you, having your wife more, something like that. So we paint that kind of a picture of the aspirational outcome. Or what works really well is we just say, hey, do you have wrinkles? Like this will help decrease wrinkles or the appearance of wrinkles and fine lines. And most people can project their own aspirational outcome onto that. Like if you looked 10 years younger, I don't really have to tell our customers how that would impact their lives. Everybody knows that would be nice. If you have acne and we helped cover it with concealer, everybody knows how that would be nice. So that's kind of the numerator is we focus on individual skin issues and aspirational outcomes. Then there is the reduction of friction. So if I said we're going to make you look 10 years younger, but it's going to cost you $1 million and take 5 years, you'd say no. If I said we're going to make you look 10 years younger, but it's going to cost you 30 seconds and $40, you're going to say yes. So that's where the price and the brand promises and the experience and those kinds of things help to reduce the friction. And so that's the equation, right? It's like value you're going to deliver divided by effort, time, money, etc. to get there. So the 30-second skincare part is about decreasing the intensity of the denominator and the effort to get there.
Is there an age demographic for men that you're targeting?
Yeah, we are targeting 30 plus right now because our price point is a little bit higher. It's, for a bottle of facial serum, it's $39, which, it's the quality of something like La Mer, which is $200 and something. We import apple stem cell extract from Switzerland and use the best hyaluronic acid and import it and make sure it's from very reputable suppliers, which is very difficult to do. So it's not quite mass market, or for 20 plus, it's really more 30 plus. Yeah. But other than that, we thought we would sell almost entirely in cities. There are actually a lot of rural areas. We sell in all 50 states online. And, we get orders from Mississippi and West Virginia and a lot of places that we did not actually originally think we were going to get sales from.
Do you think men are evolving to want to be taking better care of their skin, or do you still think that it's an education piece, it's an ongoing movement?
I'd say it's an ongoing movement. I mean, one is just guys don't know about these products. I mean, who doesn't? We try to frame it like this. It's just another way to look good. You shave, you get a haircut, you put on nice clothing, you might have a nice watch. Like, this is the skin on your face. It's like, it's not that crazy to say, hey, if you like have smoother skin, if you get rid of redness and blemishes and bumps and dry skin, you look better. So that's the first thing, is kind of recontextualizing skincare into just another thing that guys should do that will help them look good in the series of things they already do. So once guys understand, and that's kind of a little bit of a different philosophy, but most people will buy into that pretty easily. So once they've bought into that, it's like, okay, well, what do I do? Like, what the hell is a serum? What is hyaluronic acid? There's a general lack of understanding and education about ingredients, quality of ingredients, functions, even about skin issues. What's a blemish versus acne? What's wrinkles versus fine lines versus crow's feet? Why do they happen? Am I hiding them? Am I fixing them? There's a million different things. Pores, are they open? Are they closed? Are they clogged? Are they blackheads? Whatever. So at that point, it's our job to kind of educate guys on specific skin issues and then how to make them either fix them or appear to be fixed while you do a longer term situation. Wrinkles with hyaluronic acid might look reduced within a week of using the product. But if you use it for a couple of months, they actually may end up actually being reduced, not just looking reduced.
Do you have different lines in your products that are garnered towards very similar to women's product lines, the T area of the face, or oily or dry, or is it a simplified line that is used across the mass male population?
We only make products that are for 80, 90, 100% of people. Honestly, maybe even just like 95 to 100%. So I believe that everyone should be able to use our products without necessarily needing to understand. If you have, I run a skincare company. Some days I have oily skin, some days I have combination, some days I have dry. I don't really know. And I run a company that's based off of this. And that's because I just haven't grown up knowing. I don't even know who I would ask, right? Mm-hmm. As me as a customer. I wanted products. I said, okay, well, hyaluronic acid with a water-based serum with specific ingredients will work for everybody. Okay, that's great. We're making a probiotic facial cleanser that works for everybody. It has specific surfactants that remove oily skin, but it doesn't removes oil from your skin, but not too much to strip your skin. It also, if you have dry skin, has hyaluronic acid and other ingredients in it to leave some hydrating film behind. So we're trying to make it so that it covers all types of skin, because if we're trying to get guys to use skincare and convince them of that first kind of new worldview that like it's just another part of looking good, the fewer things they need to understand beyond that, the better. The fewer questions we can ask them where they might not know the answer, the better. So if our products work for everybody, great. We don't need to ask you 3 more questions in a quiz up front. You just can order them.
Are you in stores or is everything online?
We're doing direct consumer and Amazon. Those are our the kind of the point of the brand was originally I didn't like going to Sephora, right? So
okay.
Not making guys go to the store is a current key principle of the brand. If we do decide to do retail, we will have to make sure that our kind of brand promise of like initial interactions with the brand and experience and education is all keeps consistent.
What has the feedback been with the men who are new to skincare using your products?
That it works and that it's easy, and that please launch more stuff, and a lot of requests for new products, which is why we're launching 3 more by the end of the year to go from 2 products to 5. And then we have another 3 in development for next year, probably going to end up being more than that. Again, we try to make it so simple that a guy can say, okay, I saw your ad. I have some wrinkles. I bought your serum. I put it on. It took 30 seconds a day. And a week later, my wife started saying that my skin just looks nicer. It's like, that is a lot of our feedback. Nothing too complex, not rocket science. Like, obviously there's a lot of complexity in the supply chain to get it to the guy quickly, and our fulfillment and shipping. In the packaging we do so that the pumps never jam and that they give the exact right amount after 1 or 2 pumps, and et cetera, et cetera. So, and that the stuff dries quickly, and that the first time you use it, it makes your skin tone balanced. So you can do what we call fast wins, which is we want all of our products to give you a positive experience the first time you use it. That way you actually use it more. And it's over that repeated use over weeks or months, potentially, that you see the true benefits of all of our products, except for concealer. That's like, use it and it works right away.
Do you offer a concealer for men?
We're about to launch that in a few weeks.
Interesting. I mean, that's just a whole different level, wouldn't you say, of skincare?
Yes. So that's the only foray into cosmetics that we're going to do, I believe, because that one is heavily it's got some baggage in guys.
It's femaleized, right?
Yeah, it's got some feminine qualities to it. So what did we do? We put it in a pen with a click pen that looks very discreet. It matches. We're going to find a way to match your tone online very easily, so you don't have to go to a store. It has a matte finish, so there's no glossiness or anything. It is thick coverage, but we developed it over a year and a half to make sure that for raised wrinkles and acne and dark circles, it actually blends into cracks so that it's not visible. That was something that took us a long time, is to make it not visible on your face. And so do I think guys are going to be clamoring, like beating down our doors like it's Black Friday to buy concealer? Not at the beginning, because there's a lot of cultural headwinds. Do we think that as we give it for free with our other facial products and that guys realize, oh my God, this is the greatest product I've ever used? Yeah, we're going to have a lot of repeat customers. That was my experience with it. I never bought concealer. I put it on my nose once and I thought, oh my God, this big nose scar that I have is literally disappeared. I've shown it to friends, our concealer, and they put it on dark circle and they go, I look like I've gotten 10 hours of sleep for a month instead of being hungover. It is that kind of miracle product where we just need to get it into your hands and then it's kind of game over. You're going to be a customer for life.
Sounds like you're going to have women wanting this product as well.
Yes, that is the goal. We're kind of a mix between NARS and YSL's concealer, but actually, just fewer of the fillers, fewer of the negatively impactful ingredients that they use. So I'm not some corporate person sitting in a big chair at a New York skyscraper saying, okay, we need to make our products cheaper to get to more people. I'm in the lab with our formulators working on the performance, making sure we research every single ingredient. Is it bad for you? Is it good for you? Okay, well, it's going to make the thing thicker, but it's bad for you. Let's find something else. It's 10 cents more per unit. Okay, let's use it. I don't care, because the repeat customer will pay for themselves once they experience the product.
Well, it's very interesting. And, it's men's skincare lines are, that none of them would jump to your mind. Right. Like there's you would say, oh, can you name off a men? Whereas women's skincare lines, several would pop into your head. So I think it's a great idea. We're going to take a quick break, everybody, and we'll be right back to talk with Jake more about his products.
You are listening to The Health Hub here on Radio Maria Canada, a Catholic voice wherever you are. To contact us and be a part of the show, email thh@radiomaria.ca. We now continue with the program. Here once again is your host, Kathy Biasi.
Welcome back to our show, everybody. We're talking with Jake Rosenberg. He is the founder of Krete. Now, that's a very interesting name, Krete. Where did that come from?
There's actually a process that I use, and you'll probably see that I use a process to come up with most of my decisions. So
you're very much an entrepreneur.
I appreciate that. I mean, there has to be a method to the madness. And if you are someone who gets results, you have to have some sort of process for repeatable, successful results, or else you're just going to get lucky and unlucky. And you need to be too much as an entrepreneur to do that.
But that's in all aspects of life too, Jake. I mean, you're just getting the formula when it comes to business. For any success in life, you have to have a method and you have to follow through with it. So you're in this space and it's obviously doing very well. So sorry, back to Krete. So
the name, I liked Greek sounding names. I mean, that made it a lot narrower. I liked Nike, NYX, Cosmetics, Kith. Names like that, K's, R's, T's, S's, X's, the same way Elon Musk likes certain letters, like he loves the letter X. Like Greek names to me were great. So I started by looking at all the Greek gods and Achilles and this, and I don't know, they just sounded a little too much. I also thought they were too masculine, which is interesting because, again, we're skincare for men. But I thought that if we try to go like Hercules skincare, it's going to sound like we're trying so hard to be for men that we're trying to trick men into doing something that's for women. And so I wanted to be a little more ambiguous in the branding. And then I also wanted to make sure that one day, if we wanted to, we could sell to women. And then I also wanted to remind myself or our customers of beautiful places. If I say Malibu or Las Vegas, a vibe comes to your mind of a lifestyle that is in those places, or New York City or Madrid, like the south of France, right? So those were the kind of variables that I looked at. I wanted it to be Greek. I wanted it to be short so people could type it out easily. And so I wasn't sure of a name, but then originally I was going to call the concealer Concrete because women have foundation. And I thought, oh, it'd be funny if I said men have concrete. They're both, building materials.
I get the humor.
And I just thought it made sense. And then Concrete, I was like, oh, Krete. I could call the brand that. And then I realized, okay, well, CRET is the island in Greece. So if I change it to a K, we can own everything. It's 5 letters? Mm-hmm. I just had to count to make sure it wasn't 6. But yeah, so it's 5 letters. We owned all the trademarks, international trademarks, domain names. It does not have geographic misdescription. And it just worked for all of the criteria I originally wanted, and it was available. And so it was like, okay, we kind of backed into it. It does remind you of the Greek island and the beautiful Mediterranean waters and all that stuff. It is Greek. It is K's, R's, T's.
Checks off all the boxes for you.
Yeah. And then it's ambiguous. Krete could be for men. It could be for women. It doesn't box us in. It's not skincare. It could be health and wellness and supplements, which we may be working on next year. So that was kind of the name. I know that was a long way of saying it, but there was a framework, and then we got lucky to find something that checked every box.
Well, with your company, you take pride in using natural products, and I know you're going to kind of drill down on that terminology. How did you select, and you've named off a couple of them, but how did you go about picking your products, and why is it important for you that they are of the highest source?
That's my personality. I just don't want to make something that's not the best it could possibly be. To do anything else doesn't make sense to me. So that's my personality. I don't like using mediocre products. I like doing nothing or doing a 10 out of 10 thing. So if I'm watching a TV show, I'd like to watch Mad Men or Breaking Bad or something that good, or else why am I watching TV versus getting our work done versus hanging with friends versus whatever else. So that's my general personality and life philosophy is if you're going to build something, you should try to make it as good as possible. And then from a business side, customers respond to that. I mean, everyone can tell the quality of our products is better than stuff they've used. We have a retention rate that is 50% better than the industry standard in cosmetics. It's almost 40% when the industry average on Shopify is about 26%. So they respond to that. And that's with having 2 products, not, 20 to hook you into. So that number is only going to go up. So that's kind of the philosophy of why. It's one, I just believe you should. And the second is customers know when a product is better. And, ingredients matter. If you've ever been to a good restaurant, ingredients matter.
Well, when it comes to skincare, and we'll stay focused on men's skincare. Men have issues with their skin. They can have acne, they can have rosacea, and they can have just the normal dry, oily, or T-zone skin. Are all skin types for men? Can they match up with your 2 products right now?
Yes. So our first product is they're both hyaluronic acid serums, our first 2 products. The first is a hydrating facial serum and the other is a hydrating body serum. The difference is the body serum is unscented. It uses tripeptide 29 instead of apple stem cell extract because that boosts collagen synthesis and then it has ginger extract, which helps again with certain issues that you need for thicker skin versus facial skin. It can be a little more aggressive. So we avoided that in the facial serum. But yes, they're for everybody because there's no oil in it. So that eliminates people with oily skin. If you have an oil serum and you have oily skin, that would be insane of you to use that. You're probably going to give yourself acne right off the bat or clog your pores. So having a water-based serum. And then we also use a specific combination of molecular weights of hyaluronic acid. Some are lighter, which penetrate more and hydrate. Some are heavier, which cause a gel to kind of form a smooth coating over your skin that's very light and imperceptible, but keeps the moisture in and forms a protective layer. So we really formulated it for everybody. And our next product is going to be a concealer that works for everybody. We avoid, honestly, working for everybody is as much including certain ingredients as it is avoiding certain ingredients. And we were already going to avoid most of those negative ingredients just because of the mindset that I told you earlier. I don't want to use a preservative like sodium benzoate or potassium sorbate because those cause irritation in a lot of people and they're cheap. And so instead we use different preservatives, which are significantly more expensive, but just don't cause irritation. And so when you make that kind of a choice on every ingredient, it turns out that they end up kind of working for everybody off the bat.
Interesting. Now, you've got the 2 serums. You've talked about the concealer and maybe more products are in the back of your mind. But with the products that you have now, what would you recommend? So you open a woman's cupboard. It's so intricate and the ritual is so, women have to pack separate luggage for their skincare routine. When you're sort of educating men, so you've got the serums to work in, but what else would you tell men to do about skincare while working in the 2 products that you have?
Well, the first is guys need to wash their face more.
With what?
Yeah, so exactly. A lot of guys will use a bar of soap. You know what? Skincare experts, dermatologists will tell you, oh no, it's going to dry out your skin. You know what? It's a lot better than nothing. Like,
I've got that attitude too. Something's better than nothing.
You need to do that every single day. Well, with certain soaps, no, because it actually is going to dry out your skin and damage your skin. So a lot of women use what's called like a facial cleanser or face wash, which actually might have no soap in it. What it uses is an ingredient called surfactants, which essentially bind to polar and non-polar molecules. That's the reason why oil and water don't mix in like a dressing. One is polar, one is non-polar. So this binds to both of them. So if you have water and you have surfactants, it essentially removes oil and dirt off your skin without needing to scrub incredibly hard. And it also can do that without removing all of the oil because you can use specific surfactants. So I know I'm getting probably a little too much into the chemistry of it, but essentially, we are developing a foaming facial cleanser with probiotics in it that removes oil just enough to clean your face and leaves behind some probiotics and hyaluronic acid to hydrate and help with skin health. It's not going to clean your face too aggressively. It's also not going to be impossible to wash off because sometimes these formulas that hydrate too are the stuff gets stuck in your eyebrows and your beard, and that's terrible. That is taking us, a while to formulate because I want a very specific final product. But yeah, some guys can genuinely get away with washing their face once, twice, whatever, a week with a bar of soap in the shower because, again, as I kind of started off by saying, they're not putting a lot of cosmetics on their face or doing a lot of stuff in the first place. Now, if you sweat or work out, you're going to be needing to wash off that excess oil and dirt more frequently. So again, that's where the issues with soap comes, because if you're washing your face once, twice a day with a bar of soap, then you're going to end up introducing irritation and other skin issues.
Do your 2 products, the hyaluronic acid, would you say cover the area of moisturizing, or would you also suggest that?
So we are potentially going to do a water-based moisturizer next year. I literally use just my serum and I don't have dry skin. Literally, I live in Los Angeles. I'm outside all the time. It's incredibly dry here. I know some people in the Marines and the Marine Reserves, and we give them the serum and they use it and they say, even in the most harsh conditions, they don't have dry skin and skin issues from it. So if you have a sunburn, it works really well. The thing is, we use the best ingredient, which is hyaluronic acid. Everything else is a less effective moisturizing ingredient. So while technically the product is a serum, we like to call it a concentrated moisturizer.
Okay. So let's kind of bring back to full circle here. We've touched on, you've kind of dabbled in your new products. So let's go through the current product line. You've got the 2 serums, and then what is coming out next for you?
The concealer is coming out next. That is literally getting filled as we speak. We've already done a lot of the marketing preparations for it, the launch emails, the ads, etc. That could be live in 2 to 4 weeks, probably 4 weeks. because we just like to get all our ducks in a row before launching it.
And that product is for concealing blemishes, acne, similar to what a woman would use her concealer for.
Completely. It's dark circles is a big one. Guys want to hide scars and irritation from shaving. So we're telling guys to hide their version of the things women would hide, right?
Okay.
Women are not shaving full beards off their face and getting ingrown hairs and irritation from that and nicks and things like that. Women are less likely to have facial scars than men. Women don't have eye bags to the extent that men do, where they're like pretty aggressive dark circles. So, if we run an ad to women, we would talk about women's issues. And if we run an ad to men, we talk about men's issues. And then when they come to the site, they see kind of a list of all of them. And as long as we have a good video showing you that you can hide one thing with concealer, it's not a stretch for people to understand they can hide kind of anything.
So are you taking and you've got the foam coming out, the probiotic foam. Are you taking the feedback that you're getting from men and kind of running with that? Where I'm going with is, do you foresee in the future a full product line upping the 30-second routine?
So the promise is that each product takes lessons, and I have had some lengthy discussions with my team and the head of branding with this. And so the conclusion that we had, which was my original vision, was not that this is going to be use 5 products in under 30 seconds. It is that you don't need to use 5 products if you don't want to, even if, let's say, we have 8 or 9 next year, something like that. You might only need 1 for your issue. You might need 2 or 3, but each individual product will only take you 30 seconds. So if you need to wash your face with our facial cleanser and then use our serum, okay, it'll take you 1 minute. So it's still a very easy way to kind of reconcile the short amount of time that you have to spend doing this stuff. And then we are very, very particular about the products that we develop. We're not trying to give guys anything more than maybe 3 products in a row. And that is if you absolutely have like, you wash your face, you put the serum on, and maybe you need to hide something with the concealer. So those, that person has a couple of specific skin issues, and each product tackles a version of that. So, we don't think it's going to be a hard sell. Yeah. So
where do you see the end game? Will it be the moisturizer, facial cleanser, your 2 serums, concealer, and out?
SPF, we're going to be working on. Well, we are working on that, a mineral-based one, not chemical. That is a giant pain because it leaves a white cast, and we have some
very hard to get one.
Chemists. We had to figure out the zinc oxide coating and zinc oxide boosters and other things. Supergoop managed to do it, but we think their formula smells a little bit interesting. Interesting is a very nice way to phrase that. So, yeah, again, it comes down to the chemistry. That's why I learned chemistry. It's because even though I'm not going to be the one formulating the SPF, I can have a conversation with a formulator and get something done in 3 to 6 months instead of 9 to 12. And I can get it done significantly more effectively because I know exactly what problems I need them to solve. You're
going to have to be educating men on the why and the how and especially with the SPFs, because I think a lot of women are just coming to the table when it comes to the SPF. Are you finding that the mental health aspect, when men are using products and seeing change, do you see a shift in how they're feeling about themselves?
Absolutely. The word every brand that has anything to do with guys looking good ever is confidence. And so, yes, we get all the time just guys oozing with more confidence. And they don't even need to say that word. They just will text us back. It's funny. They text back our marketing emails or reply. They'll say, we get actual messages, stuff like, my wife told me I look better than I have in 10 years. It's like, okay, great. So I don't see how you're not going to have the best week you've had, Yeah. So there's an element of confidence and just removal of stresses. Aging is a difficult thing to deal with because, I'm going to get a little philosophical here, but it reminds us of our mortality. And so something that can make you feel like you're postponing that a little bit, even if you know that's not what's actually happening. You're not a healthier person because you have fewer wrinkles. But maybe if you have fewer wrinkles, you're happier and you feel more at ease, and that reduces your stress and actually makes you healthier. So there are a lot of things to be said that when you look good, you feel good. A lot of athletes talk about looking good and playing better. It's just that, you buy a new shirt, you put it on, you think you look great, you're going to have a better night.
I just think it's an education piece because, I have 2 boys and a husband, and skincare for them. The 2 boys are a little bit more into it, but my husband, like I said, it just was never in his vocabulary. So I think it's great. I think it's great what you do. If someone wanted to find out more about your product or follow you on your social sites, where could they find you?
Yeah, you can go to Krete, Krete.club, CLUB. So Krete.club, not .com. Or just search Krete, Krete on Amazon. Everything's there. We have like ridiculously good reviews. I think we get like 1 or 2 returns a month. Like, we're selling thousands of bottles. We literally don't get returns. Again, all that effort on the front side to make formulas that work. Turns out that customers like it so much they never want their money back. It's like, okay, well, that's a nice business boost. So yeah, Amazon, Krete or Krete.club. Everything's right there. We keep it very simple. We have 2 products now. We'll have 5 by the end of the year, and a bunch more coming.
Well, Jake, congratulations. It's an inspiring story, and all the best to you with the launch of your new products.
Thank you.
Everybody, that's the end of our show, and we will talk to you next week on The Health Hub.
You have been listening to The Health Hub, hosted by Kathy Biasi, here on Radio Maria Canada. Canada.